Well, this next story is incredible. Surgeons at Hermann Memorial City say one of their nurses is miraculously alive because he came to work on a day when he wasn't feeling well.
At the right place at the right time. As Fox's Melissa Wilson reports, it took months for him to recover, but he survived multiple near-death situations.
Y'all gave me a second chance, and I appreciate that.
Jerry Isbell underwent surgery for kidney cancer last April. A month later, he wasn't feeling well, but went to work anyway. Here's his team of doctors who believe that very decision saved his life. After all, he works in an emergency room.
They took me to CAT scan, and that's when they found that I had developed an aneurysm, it's called a pseudoaneurysm on my kidney that popped, and so I was bleeding out of my belly.
They had mere minutes to race him to this operating room at Hermann Memorial City. His surgeons say he never would have survived an ambulance ride. His body was in such distress, it triggered a massive heart attack. Dr. Stephen Pickett, who is an interventional cardiologist, raced to the ER to help.
He was in a little bit of bad shape, so we took him up to the cath lab right away in an attempt to fix the heart attack. We were able to sort of temporize things, but he was very, very sick and ended up going on life support. We put a heart pump in for him called an Impella device that takes some of the stress off his heart and supports it.
Even though Jerry was fighting for his life, he found the strength to offer medical suggestions about his own care.
I begged him to intubate me because I told him, I said, look, I can't breathe, I'm dying. It doesn't make sense, but I can't breathe, and please intubate me.
Jerry's situation was a little bit complicated because he had some bleeding issues at the same time. As a result, we had to go in and embolize one of his kidneys, meaning shut down a branch of the artery that supplied blood flow to the kidney to stop that bleeding.
Still more needed to be done. Jerry's surgeons say his heart attack was prompted by a clot in his heart artery. That realization brought in Dr. Bob Hetz for another emergency surgery.
We got the OR ready while Dr. Pickett worked on him a little bit more, and then we went back to the operating room and performed the bypass on his heart.
I mean, all of this was incredibly life-threatening at every moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it was. I think touch and go is a good way to describe it.
They told my family that they weren't sure if I was going to make it, but they would do everything they could to save my life.
Jerry went into what he describes as the most peaceful outer body experience.
I don't know if it's afterlife. I don't know what the occurrence was, but I went into a room and I got to meet up with a group of people that part of my past. My father-in-law that I hadn't seen in 20 years, they died 20 years ago. My best friend from the ER that died probably 8 years ago from a massive stroke. And other people, another radiology tech that was in the ER that died. And I met up with him, I met up with the CT tech that died, and I felt like I was in this room for half a day.
The dad of 3 admits it was hard to come back to reality. He says the peace was so overwhelming he can't even describe it. But when a doctor started yelling his name, he chose to return back to reality. All of his friends at Hermann were fighting for his life. A team of 100 medical care workers took care of him during his hospital stay. Laura Weisty is in charge of the team, who spent weeks helping him recover.
He really is a fighter, and he was very sick for a good amount of time, but he's a strong guy, and we're happy to see him back and definitely back to work with us.
This was an experience that changed me forever. You know, now I have a relationship with God. I read the Bible every day. I journal every day. Every day is a blessing.
Melissa Wilson, Fox 26 News.
Wow.
Just incredible. Yeah. So you can hear more about Jerry's out-of-body experience and how that has changed his life. Plus, his wife will join Melissa on Lunch for the Soul, and you can find it on our Fox Local app at 10:30 this morning.
Incredible story. Look forward to it.